Hello everyone. In this 12th part of NMR spectroscopy, we would discuss spin-spin coupling constant and long-range coupling. In this slide, you can see that it's a picture of a triplet. We know that whenever there are two non-equivalent neighboring protons are there, then as per n plus 1 rule, signal is splitted into three lines and we call it a triplet. Now these are the three splitted lines of the triplet in front of you, and this distance, and also we know that the intensity of lines in a triplet is 1 is to 2 is to 1. Now this distance between the splitted line, that is called spin-spin coupling constant. So if you read it, the definition, the distance between the lines or peaks of the splitted signal, or we can say that the distance between the multiplet of the signal is called coupling constant, and it is shown by symbol J. Here also in the picture you can see that this distance is called J. It is measured in the unit hertz, and it is a measurement of the effectiveness of coupling. So more powerful coupling between the neighboring protons, more will be the value of J. Value of J is actually same for the neighboring protons. Now in this slide, you can see that the example is taken of 112 trichloroethane. Now first let us observe carefully this molecule. It is a 112 trichloro and there are two carbons, so ethane. Now protons A having only one neighboring proton, so there would be doublet of proton A, and here you can see. Proton B, which is shown with the blue, having two neighboring protons, so as per n plus 1 rule, its signal would get split into triplet. Now since these protons HA and HB, they are neighboring protons, so always neighboring protons, they have the same value of J. So in figure you can see that this distance in a triplet 6.1 hertz, or this is also 6.1 hertz, then the same distance you will find here in a doublet also. So suppose any compound possesses 4 or 5 different kind of signals, but as now we know that the neighboring protons having the same value of coupling constant, so by comparing those values we can know that in original structure which protons are actually at a neighboring position. So that way the value of J is also very important for us. Another very important point is coupling constant is independent of applied magnetic field. It means that if you keep changing the spectrometer with a different frequency or a different field strength, but there won't be any change in the value of J. Now this is a very useful point we can exploit in simplifying the NMR spectrum. Sometimes NMR spectrum is a very complex and there are so many lines which are mixed with each other. At that time it is difficult to know that whether these lines are a separate signals or they are the splitted lines of the same signal. At that time this point of coupling constant can be very helpful to us. If we record the NMR spectrum at some other radio frequency, now as we already know that coupling constant is independent of the applied field, and if we compare both the spectrum, now if the spacing between the signals in both the spectrum remains same, then we can say that they are actually the splitted lines of the same signal, because J is independent of the magnetic field, and in both the spectrum those peaks, spacing between those peaks are changed, then we can say that they are different signals. So that way with the value of a J we can distinguish between a doublet or two singlet, or if we have a doubt between the quartet or two doublets, then easily by comparing or with the help of J value we can distinguish between whether the multiplets are there or they are a separate signals. Normally J, a value of J is in the range of 0 to 20 hertz depend upon the structural features. So in next slide you can see that these are geminal protons attached on the same carbon. So normally this geminal coupling is a very powerful, and as a result you can see that their J value is in the range of 10 to 18 depend the other structural part attached over here. Vicinal coupling is comparatively less powerful, and you can see that this Ha and Hb vicinal protons, their J value is 8 Hertz. Vinylic protons, they have the J value in the range of 0.3 to 2. This is interesting case, cis protons and trans protons. Now cis coupling is comparatively weaker than the trans coupling, and as a result you can see that cis having J value in a range of 5 to 14 while trans having 11 to 19. Earlier I told you friends, J is a measurement of effectiveness of coupling. More the value of J, more the extent or powerful could be the spin-spin coupling. Here also in the case of aromatic nucleus you can see that orthoprotons Ha and Hb are in most vicinity compared to meta and para. So see their J value 7 to 10. In meta it is 2 to 3, which is a weaker than the ortho, and para is the farthest, and that's why very rare chances of their coupling, and that's why you can see that 0 to 1. So I hope that you understand this is a short note of spin-spin coupling constant. From this slide we can say that it can be very useful in distinguish between the isomers, whether they are cis trans or vicinal or geminal, or whether they are ortho, meta and para, which is written over here. So now let's discuss long range coupling. Normally friends, the nuclei, they get coupled, they not get coupled when they are separated by 3 or more covalent bonds. But in some systems, we can notice appreciable coupling with the help of high resolution spectrometer. Even the nuclei are 3 bonds apart, and that's why it is called long range coupling. Mostly long range coupling, a noticeable long range coupling is a seen in those pi bonded atoms which are intervened between the atoms bearing the coupled protons. So I want to tell you that the two protons which are coupled, in between them, if some pi bond system is present, then in such compounds this long range coupling is very common. So let us give the example like a allylic system or homoallylic system. If you know their structure, in between there is a double bond. This long range coupling is comparatively very weaker and within the range of normally 0 to 3 Hertz. Now one very interesting case is sometimes the two coupled protons, even if they are separated by 4 covalent bonds, but if the protons are arranged in a alphabet W shape, then the long range coupling is observed. Now in next slide we will check the example, because there is a very interesting case. Here you can see that the metaprotons, and metaprotons, you can see that these two metaprotons, they are arranged in a alphabet W shape. So a weaker long range coupling is seen in them. This example is bicyclic. This is a bicyclic system, 2 to 1 hexane system. But see, these protons are arranged in a W shape. So long range coupling is seen. This is a general structural formula. I'm sorry. You can say that it is a M shape or it is a W shape. But earlier it is known as a W shape. This is rigid cyclohexane system, and these two equatorial hydrogen or equatorial protons, you can see that they are arranged in reverse W shape. So long range coupling is also seen in these compounds. So this is really interesting. Otherwise, as we told, in normal circumstances, when coupled protons, if they are separated by 3 or more covalent bonds, then there is no coupling between them. So some of the charts and the values of J I have used from these two books. So I really acknowledge these books, Elementary Organic Spectroscopy by Y.R. Sharma and Spectroscopy of Organic Compounds by Dr. P.S. Khalsi. So I hope that friends, you understand these two theories, long range coupling and spin coupling constant. So thank you.